So I want to begin by reading a very, very familiar text, the Great Commission from Matthew 28, 18 through 20. I'm not talking about evangelism. I'm actually making a secondary point, but hopefully it'll be helpful. This is Matthew 28, 18 through 20, and Jesus came and spoke to them, saying, "All authority has been given to me in heaven and on earth. Go therefore and make disciples of all the nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all things that I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the age." Who did Jesus speak this to? Disciples. And what did he tell them to do? He told them to make disciples. So the mandate for the Christian is to become a disciple, grow as a disciple, and then in that process begin to become a disciple maker as well as a disciple. So my exhortation to you as predominantly single young men is to engage a godly man to help you. Engage a mature disciple to help pull you up into mature discipleship. Here's what you'll find about mature Christian men. They're the busiest guy on the block. When God brings a man into Christian maturity, he almost always gives him a very full life. So he's not a guy looking for things to add to his list and looking to add obligations, because normally God has already given him a lot of obligations. But typically they also know they have a tremendous debt to pay. What do I mean by that? I mean, when you ask them about their own discipleship, about how God has brought them to maturity, faces come into their mind. Faces of mature Christian men who have pulled them up into mature Christian walk, into a mature Christian walk. So they know there are men who have invested in their lives in the same way that you're seeking from them. And they want to play the part in younger men's lives that men have played in their lives and help them come to maturity. So almost never say no. If you seek engagement from a mature Christian man, you seek it in the right way and you're looking for kind of the right thing, they're so predisposed to say yes because other men have played that role in their lives, and they want to play that role in the lives of young Christian men. Now, what could that look like? It could look like reading a book together. That's actually what I like to do with young men in our church, is just meet and read. I hate homework. I don't want homework. So we actually meet and read together. And that keeps us out of the death loop of, I didn't read this week. Should we meet or not we meet? Or do we catch up? Or do we take a week off? We just meet and read. Yeah. Hey, have him pick a book that he thinks is a really important book in his spiritual development, and then go to his house. Make it easy for him and go read it with him. It could look like this. Have a breakfast and lunch, and you set the agenda. Would you have breakfast? Would you meet me for breakfast? And would you just give me your thoughts on blank? And you fill in the blank. You set the agenda. It's something you want some help on, you want to be able to pick his brain on, and you want him to just unload what God has told him in this category. Or have breakfast or lunch and ask him to set the agenda. Would you meet me for lunch, and would you tell me what you think I need to know? Blank slate. Tell me what you wish you had known but didn't know when you were 20, when you were 22, when you were 25, and just let him ask that question. So, hey, seek it out. Don't. I'm declaring it illegal to feel bad that he hasn't initiated it with you. He really is busy. and really does have a lot of other obligations, but he'll probably say yes if you ask the right question, seek it out.
I just want to add something to that. First of all, men who make disciples, they know one thing out of experience. If you chase a guy down, there might not be that much discipleship. If he chases you down, something's going to happen. So don't wait around for the guy. Mature men often don't chase you down. They're waiting for you to chase them down. So chase them down. But it is also good to chase men down. I do that in different ways. You mentioned reading books. I just read, I gathered all the single young men in our church together to read Jeffrey Johnson's book on the church just a few months ago. We read it out loud. We just went around the room and read it until we were done. We met for several meetings for about an hour and a half or two. We just read and talked about it, and then we hit the road. That was one way that I engaged reading. Jason does a great job reading great books with young men, and they just sit down and read it. It's really, really helpful.